Hey there, how's it going today? Ryan Shields here with Shields Group at Royal LePage, Martin Liberty Realty. And today, we're going to talk about the 7 steps to purchasing a home in Brandon, Manitoba. There's a lot of different things to think about. It is a crazy, crazy experience that it can be full of stress. It's a lot of excitement, and it is a lot of worry. So if you're looking to buy a house right now and you're curious what those 7 steps are, stick around. Alrighty. Step number 1, you want to meet with your realtor. You want to sit down and discuss everything that's on the table before you really get involved in the process. You want to talk about what all your options are. You want to make sure as a buyer you are perfectly clear on what you're looking for, what your wish list is, what your need list is. So there's a very big difference between what a need is and what a wish or a want is. What a need is if you need to have 3 bedrooms on the main level. But a want might be, I want a double attached garage. I don't need the garage, but I want it. I want a finished basement. I don't need a finished basement, but I need 3 bedrooms on the main floor. Or I need 2 bathrooms. There is a very, very big difference between what a need and a want is. And it is crucial for you to figure those out right at the beginning. The other thing that you got to really think about is what location of town do you want to be in? Do you want to be West End? Do you want to be South End? Do you want to be North? Where do you want to be? School catchments. What schools are involved? What parks are around? This is all stuff you can determine before you actually get the process started. So step number 1 is meet with your realtor. Talk about everything. Make sure everybody is on the same page. Timelines are understood. Everything along that line is all figured out and you are ready to go. Step number 2 is critical before you get out looking for houses. You need to sit down and meet with your bank or mortgage broker. You need to understand completely where all your finances are, what you're comfortable with a monthly payment. I mean, they might tell you you're approved up to $1 million, but your payment would make it so you can't live your normal life. You are completely house poor. The kids can't play sports anymore, and that's not what you want. Even though you can afford it, even though the bank has said, hey, go out and spend $1 million, that's not the lifestyle you want to live. So it is very important that you talk to your banker, your mortgage broker, to figure out where your comfort level is, where your payment can be before you head out showing. Because on the flip side of that, if you were to phone your realtor and say, hey, I want to go look at houses, the perfect house out there is $500,000 or $400,000, and you get excited, you go start looking around, fall in love with a house. You put an offer in subject to financing, and then your banker says, well, you have so much debt, you can't finance that house. You got to go look at $200,000 houses. Well, now you've set that bar as crazy high as you possibly could because you're looking at $400,000 or $500,000 houses, but now you've got to find that $200,000 house, and I can guarantee you your expectations are going to be so hard to meet because you've already seen the really nice houses. It's just not a comparable house out there. So there is so much that can go wrong when you don't talk to a mortgage broker or banker before going out. So step number 2 is you need to sit down with a mortgage broker or bank. You need to get all your finances figured out. One kind of pro tip, after you buy the house, don't go spend a lot of money on furniture or a car or something until you take possession. You do not want to add debt between purchase and possession, because if you add a lot of debt, it might throw out all your ratios, and you might not be able to afford that house anymore. So after you purchase a house, please, 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 I'm begging you, do not go buy a new car. Wait till after possession of that house and then go buy that new car, but don't do it beforehand. Step number 3, you're going to start picking some properties that fit your budget, that fit a lot of your list and fit the location. So your agent should be sending you properties, should be talking to you about what's coming out onto the market. And at this point, you're going to sit there, go through all the comparables, go through everything on the computer, and start fine-tuning your list. Now, you're not picking one house now. You're still picking a vast majority, a wide range of houses, because now you're going to start going to look at houses. You're going to start kind of getting a feel for what the market looks like. But step number 3 is make sure you're starting to pare down your list and get a little bit more focused on what you're looking for. Now, there might be a bit of a gap between step 3 and step 4 because step 4 is understanding what is all involved with this offer. So once we get it down to, or once you get it down to the perfect house with your agent and the offer is all prepared and we start putting together all the paperwork, you have to understand what is all involved with that offer. Typically, there's going to be 2 conditions, a minimum 2 conditions in my mind that your agent should be suggesting. You're going to need a financing approval. So you're going to need a condition for financing from the bank. And the second one is you really should be getting a home inspection by a certified home inspector, just so there's no surprises with it. I've seen so many houses that there's a laundry list of things that need to get done to the houses. They're all minor things, but as a buyer, I want to know what light switches need to be switched, what plugs aren't grounded properly or don't have the GFCI attached to them. I want to know kind of the quality of my shingles, the insulation. There's so much about a house that when you're looking for it with your agent, when you're at a normal showing, you don't get a chance to see all that stuff. I mean, there's a lot of surface stuff you look at, but you don't test the flow and drain of the house. You don't try and turn on the shower, run laundry, and then go back and see if you can still wash your hands. The home inspector is going to check all that. The home inspector is going to check the plumbing. He's going to check everything with that house. He's going to tell you if there's asbestos or if there's aluminum wiring, because I'll be honest with you, if you're looking with me, I'm not an electrician. I am not going to really be able to tell you if that's aluminum wiring or not. I might have an idea, but I'm always referring to the professionals, as should your real estate agent. We are not tradespeople. We are real estate agents. We got to stay with what we do. So step number 4 is making sure you are completely familiar with what the offer is going to look like when the time comes. Step number 5 is just a continuation of number 4. Once that offer is accepted, now we're going to start working through those conditions. Now, as an agent, we got to send all of the paperwork over to the lawyers and over to the bank. That's where the bank is going to start looking a little bit deeper into your financing. They're going to pull your credit if they haven't already. They're going to really take a look at all your ratios and stuff. Now, when I talk about ratios, it's how much debt do you have, how much income do you generate, and where do they all max out. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to book that home inspection and we're going to schedule it. So how a typical home inspection in Brandon works is the realtor will let your inspector in first thing in the morning, maybe say 9 o'clock, and then 3 hours later typically, so about noon, your agent and yourself will meet back at the house and the home inspector is going to go through everything that he found. Now, I was saying in step 4 that there's always a big list, and there always is. I've never met a house, new construction house, that doesn't have a list of little things. Now, I don't want you to get scared when you see that list. A lot of what shows up on a home inspection can be fixed on a Saturday afternoon for $100 and a screwdriver from Home Depot. Like, there's a lot of little light switch covers that need to get switched and a couple wires and nothing major in the most cases, but the odd time there is something major. That's why we want a home inspector, so you're completely aware of what is happening in your house. So step number 5 is working through the conditions on your offer before that sold sign goes up. Step number 6, now we're getting to the exciting part because you've had your home inspection. Your financing is looking good from the bank. So step number 6 is when you get both of those approved. Your bank sends you a letter that says, hey, here's all the terms of your financing, your mortgage, your rates, your payments, and you're comfortable with it. You meet the bank, you sign off on that condition. And then the second one is when you can remove your home inspection. So you get the home inspection, you meet with the inspector, everything checks off, you're comfortable with it, you can sign off the home inspection. So now you are completely done with everything. You get to celebrate. That is awesome. That's one of the best feelings for me, is when you can remove all your conditions on a house and the house is officially yours. So step number 6 is a really exciting one. It's when you get the chance to remove all conditions for your house. And the 7th and final step to the home buying process when we're in Brandon, Manitoba, is meeting with your lawyers, meeting with your lawyer to close everything. Probably about a week to 10 days before possession date, you're going to get a call from your lawyer to go meet with them. Now, this is when you're going to need to bring all your closing costs in and give the check to your lawyer. You'll need closing costs, and your down payment. So there's a hefty chunk of money that's going to be needed up front on this day, but it's probably one of the most exciting times of your life when you're signing the papers officially to take title of your new house. There's a lot of stress, a lot of concern going into it, but this is also a very, very exciting time. It's the final step before you get keys from us to take possession of the house. So your lawyer will be in touch with you to tell you exactly how much money you need to bring with you. So if you're doing 5%, 10%, 20% or more down on your house, you'll need a check for that, as well as closing costs. So what closing costs in Brandon are is your lawyer fees. Any property tax adjustments will be into your closing costs, but the biggest one right now is land transfer tax. So there is a land transfer tax on any purchases that are made in Brandon, in Manitoba, and your lawyer will be able to tell you exactly how that works out. It's a percentage of the house purchase price that becomes your land transfer tax. So the lawyer should give you all of that information well in advance to getting to meeting them. So those are the 7 steps to purchasing a home in Brandon, Manitoba. Now, the 8th step, this is kind of a bonus step, is on possession day. Your agent will meet you at the house. The agent will walk through the house with you, give you keys, really sharing the excitement with you, and make sure everything is as you saw it when you made the offer. So we always kind of talk about kind of a 1-day warranty for the most part. We include it in the offers. All your appliances need to work, your furnace, your mechanical items with the house all need to be in working order. So you kind of go through all of that to make sure you're getting what you actually purchased and you are happy with everything. It's clean, there's no big dings in the walls, but this is one of the most exciting times in the process is handing the keys over for you and your family to come in and start the next chapter of your life. So those are the 7 steps for buying a house in Brandon. If you want, we have created a PDF document in the down in the comments. There'll be a link to go sign up. I'll email it to you right away. And then any other questions, don't ever hesitate to ask. But if you're planning on buying in Brandon in the near future, this list is something you really want to become comfortable with so you know the whole process on how it works. This is a list that works with anybody. It's the entire process, so it's not just for the Shields group here. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel and get future notifications of all our videos that come up on Tuesdays. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next week.